Let's see what this is doing. Setting up your meeting for Facebook Live. We're doing it on Zoom. Zoom. So good. Every time. I just feel like I need to do that every time. Make sure to go share this on your page, Mijas. Oh my God. Everyone, welcome to volume 3 of Fruitfly. Don't bother me. It's going to be a really interesting show tonight. Hannah, you're muted, by the way, in case you didn't know that. We postponed this show by a couple of days because someone decided to get COVID. So that's real nice. I think that's wonderful.
My kids are yelling at each other, so I had to mute for a second.
No, honestly, I think it adds to the ambiance.
Yeah, it really does.
I love it. I love it. We decided, well, I let her decide because, you know, it's equal rights. And so
the team.
Yeah, she picked 2 people. I'll let her be the one to set it off. Basically, volume 3 is the positives of 2020, if there were any. And then just some interesting things that happened in 2020. So Hans, what's up?
So when we were talking about having a New Year's show, my instinct was, we're just going to be depressed talking about 2020. And I also literally was, last show that we did, it was the same day that I took a test, and that Christmas Eve evening,
I know
I got my positive results.
We were talking on the show and you were like, it's fine, I'm okay. And I was like, I trust her, but now I can't. You know?
No, nobody trusts me. That was a lie. Crushing it.
No, she really is. I'm a smoker and it's hard for me to breathe. So I can.
I'm saying.
Right.
So I do feel a lot better today. Literally like 2 nights ago, we tried to do this and I wasn't even coherent. So I was like, nope, that's not going to happen.
No,
but
yeah.
A lot better today.
Good. That's wonderful.
So anyway, we wanted to focus on the positives, and 2 of my favorite things that happened to all of us collectively as United States citizens, besides getting a new president, was the 2 people who went super duper viral and their whole lives changed for the better in 2020. And I have been following them ever since, and they're both just so positive, and they're like, their whole lives changed in a day. Yeah. And it happened in 2020 with the shitstorm of a year. And I love that. So we're talking about Tabitha Brown, whom is my adopted mother now, because come on. And then Nathan, I don't know his last name, but he's the guy on the skateboard with the cranberry juice with Fleetwood Mac. I mean, classic. These people are just brilliant.
No, yeah. Honestly, I saw the viral video of, I wasn't very familiar with Tabitha Brown, but the Fleetwood Mac skateboard guy, I didn't even try to learn his name. He really had made everyone just feel so, I don't know, positive in a time where it was just such a negative atmosphere, just by riding a skateboard down the street and holding a phone, first of all, and a huge ass cranberry juice. I'm just like, he's talented.
Yeah, agreed.
When I was little, in the 90s, when I was growing up, in my heyday, skateboarding was like all the rage, okay? Tony Hawk, I'm not related to him. I don't know. He was very popular, and my brother and his friends were all skateboarders, and I can't skateboard to save my fucking life, okay? It's horrible. I'm not good. I have good balance. I did stilts at Universal Studios, but there's something about wheels and underneath you moving at the same time. I couldn't do it. So I was called a fruit booter, because in the 90s, that's what you called skaters. Like rollerblades, no big deal. Yeah. It's
I love that.
Yeah, it's even better because you can't stop yourself, and it's on your feet. You know what I mean? So you're going wherever it's going.
Yeah, you're just ruined.
It's awful. But yeah, I thought it was just so wonderful that a little video like that, honestly, I didn't know it changed his life, because I didn't look into that, but it's so nice. It really changed a lot of people's outlook just by a 30-second video, you know?
Yeah, it really did. And he was skateboarding because his car had broken down.
Oh, okay.
So literally, like, he was just trying to get to work and his car broke down. And so he skateboarded. And I just love that he was going through that. And then just, you know what, I'm going to listen to some Fleetwood Mac on my way to work on my skateboard and drink my Ocean Spray and make a funny little video. And now he was living in an RV. Now he's bought a home. Ocean Spray gave him a truck. Whoa. Like, he is set for
it life. Says Ocean Spray on the side of it, though. The truck is like Ocean Spray.
Does it really? No, it doesn't. It's red. It's just a red truck. They didn't make him brand it.
He has to, I don't know. The only thing that's precarious about that video to me is when I'm thirsty in the morning and I have to skateboard to work, God forbid, I wouldn't want something as heavy as a huge ass cranberry. Where did he have a bag he put it in? I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, that is a good question. Was that just like in his fridge and he thought breakfast?
Yeah, did he have a satchel that he just like put it? Do you know what I mean?
These are valid questions. Where
and holding a camera, and it wasn't really shaky. Like, it's just, that is so talented. I can barely get this camera moving and it's on my lap. You know,
so maybe he deserved all of this and it's not that simple and we're all trash.
No, it's wonderful. His energy gave me, when I lived in Los Angeles, I had two encounters, well, three encounters with homeless people that I really enjoyed. Okay. That's the energy. I'm not saying, I thought he was homeless when he was in the video. I don't know why. That's just like what my mind went to, because homeless people in LA are so happy. Even though they're sleeping outside, they don't get.
I'm going to go with they're really high.
No, this one homeless guy, I was walking down the street and we were walking towards each other. So I could see him for a couple blocks. It was a straightaway. And once he got like 5 feet away from me, he like figured out something that he needed to tell me. And so he just screamed faggot.
Oh my God.
So I was like, are we playing I Spy? Low income housing. What is it? Homeless? It's homeless. It's awful.
That's good.
Yeah. And then another pair of homeless ladies. There was a white lady who was like on my street corner all the time, super nice. And she yelled across the street to this black lady who's also homeless and was like, hey, you want some cheese? And they literally just cut up a block of cheese on the cement in a parking lot and gave it to each other. And I was at first, yes. And I was, like bits of rock in it, I'm sure. And I was like, I know I have a home that I just walked out of, but like, I really like cheese. And no one offered to give me cheese. There's just,
How dare you?
I know. And then the last homeless thing, this is the best one. Me and Nick were visiting Venice Beach. We were walking down the street and we saw this lady who was clearly homeless, but having a great time. And she had a bandana tied around her titties and nothing else. And when she passed us, I turned around to be like, oh my God, that's like barely any fabric. And when I looked back, she had a syringe and a needle in the back part where it was tied.
No.
Yes, on Venice Beach where there's tons of families, just like
not even trying.
Not even, she was too far dancing to like drums that someone was playing. You know what I mean?
See, Ocean Spray needs to give that girl a car.
No, because if she gets a car, she's just going to sell it for drugs. Okay.
She would sell it for drugs.
How many needles can I get for this? You know?
You're right. How many Sudafeds can I pick up at the Eckarts?
Oh my God, Sudafeds. Oh, speaking of which, guys, not Sudafed. I don't know what that has to do with it. Comment down below and we will cure your sadness with our comments. Okay, we want to interact with you. So hey, you should be jealous, Anna. I saw you said jealous. No, I'm just kidding. Anna's amazing. We did, for the record, we did ask her to do this show with us, but we were planning for this to be during the daytime. And so she was like, no, I can't do it. I have a job.
But then she said no. And then we're like, oh, we'll do it at night.
No, I know. So Anna, that's really my fault. I know we didn't, you can come on as a guest. I'll make you a background.
You'll get a whole background.
We'll fucking do it. But who's up on the lineup, sis?
What were you going to tell people to comment?
Oh, comment down below and just tell us, interact with us during the show. We're reading it as the other person's talking. So it gives us a chance to interact with you and build a rapport, which we really appreciate you guys even watching. Honestly, this is a Friday night. RuPaul's Drag Race is premiering tonight. You could have been that. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I know.
Well,
So yeah,
I've got my black eyed peas that I hate, but it's fine because I can't taste. So
oh my God.
If anything, this year, the black eyed peas won't bother me.
Yeah, it's just I thought that was a cereal, like a black eyed peas cereal, and I was like, yeah, that's just a Fergie marshmallow.
It's a Fergie cereal.
Whatever, they are seasoned fantastic. So even though you can't taste it, they taste great.
I trust
No,
you.
yeah.
My husband, the chef, has been cooking all meals.
Clint is
Everybody
such a
clap
great
at Clint.
Clint, yes, please. I have Clint, we need to shout out him because I've yelled about him and talked shit about him in many of my comedy stuff during our time doing comedy this year. Honestly, can you believe that I've been doing like producing online comedy shows since almost in 2 months? It'll be a year.
That's wild.
Isn't this all
So
started
weird.
because the world got shut down, and like now I really enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
I really do. It's just so nice, especially this show too. It's nice to be able to be funny, but just in a very natural way, just talking about
no agenda.
But Clint Howard is a saint. First, because he has to put up with this bitch. And secondly, he is so talented. He is very talented. He is he does editing and producing and things of that nature that I had know nothing about until this year, you know, and he is like getting really good accolades. He's working in an industry that like is hard to be in and be noticed, and he's being noticed. So I think that is super important. If you want to follow him, what are his social medias?
Clint Howard Film.
On what?
On Instagram. He's really bad at social media.
No, it's cool. Now this will force him. He'll get a whole bunch of followers tonight and he'll be like, oh, I have to.
Right. Like a whole, like he's just going to get a flood of notifications.
Yeah, I think, let's look at how many people are watching. He's going to get.
I think we're at 3.
Oh my God. Yay. Great for us. Oh, yay. 3. It's cool. We still love everybody who's on,
all you 3 people should share it.
Oh, Anna, it was about the cheese. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah. Anna is the type that would have just imposed and been like, oh, I'm going to come to you guys. You know, be like, I want some cheese. I love it.
I'm texting my mom to get her on Facebook. So
oh my God.
She's her number 1
Charlemagne. Charlemagne has subsidized my income. She has really added a lot. I'm telling you, at this point, she's given more than my own mother. I'm going to message my mom and tell her to get on too.
Tell her to get on.
Oh my God. Then we can have the mom love sandwich, you know?
I love that journey for us.
They're just so proud of their kids that are doing YouTube,
Facebook, Zoom meetings
with 3 people watching right now.
With 3 people watching. I love that journey for us.
Who is the next person we're talking about? Tell us more.
Okay, so now I want to talk about Tabitha Brown because she's my favorite human in the whole wide world. It's official. Tabitha Brown is she, first of all, I didn't know this, but she went viral 5 years ago. Like a couple of days ago, she was driving for Uber, and she had just started her vegan journey, and she was taking somebody in her Uber travels to a Whole Foods, and that person told her, "Oh my gosh, you have to try this vegan sandwich that they have in their cafe." And so she decided to take a break and went inside and got herself the vegan. It's like their BLT, but without the bacon.
Yeah. My mom's tuning in. My mom's tuning in right now.
Yay, moms!
Yes, moms.
So Tabitha goes in and she gets her vegan sandwich, and she comes out, and it's so good. She decides to make a video in her car, and this is like the first, like, vegan, like, hey guys, I'm a new vegan, and I just found this sandwich. And she does her typical Tabitha Brown. Thank you, God. Like that. And like, it was just so perfect. And it went super viral. Like, she got a paid partnership with Whole Foods the next day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
So literally she was driving Uber and then the next day had a paid partnership with Whole Foods. And so since then she's done like a little bit of acting. She lives in she lived in California with her husband for a while and had kids, and things just kind of went, you know, slowly. And then eventually 2020 hit. She lost the gigs that she did have, and so she decided to make a TikTok. And she started doing vegan TikToks where she's like showing how to make it really quick and easy vegan meals. And the way that she talks in 1 minute videos is just so soothing and peaceful and and kind. And one of her phrases that she always says is, if you have a good day, and if you can't, don't go ruining it for somebody else.
Tell them, sis.
And I'm like, and I love, like, we all know that she voted for Biden, but she's never said anything. She doesn't get into politics. She'll just get on it. She'll just pray for everybody.
No, yeah.
And it's the sweetest thing. And
that little comment, she says that her little catchphrase that you just mentioned a minute ago, don't go like help ruin somebody else's day if you're having a good day, or you know what I mean?
Right.
That thing, whatever you said. That's so important because I've had to literally, I've started this thing right when me and Nick started dating was when I was just after The Voice, fresh in therapy, learning how to deal with my problems. And my therapist told me something that I still do today, which is when I wake up in the morning, I have a tendency to hold on to the negative things. If one small thing happens, like, oh, you don't have my ham and cheese croissant at Starbucks, I'm upset now. You know, right. I have to wake up and go in. The first thing I do when I look in the mirror is tell myself like 3 positive things about myself. Just to start.
I love that.
Yeah, start my day in a positive mindset. And I'm not going to lie. Some days I've been like, oh my God, like you can lie to yourself a couple of times because it's hard sometimes to like think of things positive. So sometimes I'll just be like, oh my God, you look so much like Idris Elba today. It's like, you're like, you know what I mean? Just to like start my day with a positive note.
I'm gonna embroider that on a pillow for you.
Oh my God, yes. That's going to be a part of, it's going to be a part of my merch now. I'm going to get pillows with my face next to it.
It's like the sequin one where it's got the quote and then your face.
Yeah, and you can erase my face to be happy or to be angry. You know, I love that.
This is brilliant.
That journey is so great. What's happening in the comments?
So far, Anna's just comments.
Oh my God,
cheese, and then you said hi to your mom.
My whole family is watching. Brandon Hawk, he's like an inspiration for me in comedy. Honestly.
Oh, I love that.
He really is. He should do comedy, but he's a pussy. No, I'm just kidding. But he, when I first even thought about doing comedy, a lot of the ideas, like the Last Supper idea, is something me and my brother used to like just joke about when we were little. And then the Down Syndrome magazine, which like, first of all, let me explain why I think it's okay, because it's very controversial. You have something as a comedian, you know you're going to be judged for what you're saying. And I have a niece who has Mobius syndrome, which like very few people in the United States have. And it basically causes like in the womb, it causes a rubber band effect around the extremities. And so their hands and feet don't grow properly. And so she's like missing a foot on one leg and she has like certain fingers on certain hands. And it causes like a facial paralysis. So she can only move her eyes a certain way and her mouth can only move so much, you know? And because of that, people with special needs never asked us to feel sorry for them. It's just something that we inherently do because we can't imagine living our lives like that. You know what I mean? If anything, they want to feel just like everyone else. They don't want to be singled out for being different. So if I'm going to make fun of the breeder straight boy next to me, I'm going to make a comment about things that are controversial because it's coming from a good place. It's not coming from negativity, you know? Oh, it's hard. So shout out to my sister, Melissa, who's watching right now too. Whole life story. But yeah, I think 2020 has given me time to really reflect on what's important to me. I thought I wanted to be Beyonce famous. Then I got on TV and was embarrassed in front of millions. And so then I was like, I'll just be like Kelly Rowland famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's a perfect.
No big deal. She's big in England.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah. What is a resolution that you have for 2020 if you have them? So, the thing that I don't like about resolutions is it's so easy to break them. That's a whole motherfucking year, okay? I've got to do that.
Yeah. I am not a big resolution girl because I suck at them.
Yeah.
But
my resolution every year tends to be like, oh, I will not have sex with a woman, and I succeed.
Oh, that's really good for you.
I can't break that.
We're just a bunch of bitches anyway, so.
No, you guys are amazing. The only problem I have is when straight women immediately find out that you're gay, they're like, oh my God, do you want to go shopping? No, I don't want to go fucking shopping with you. Not every gay person loves to shop. Yes, I'm going to pick out a great outfit.
I think that's why gay people love me so much, because I never ask.
No, I would literally, I hate it.
I would rather just take a line of shots with that person. I would.
Oh my God, or a line of cocaine in my dark.
Oh, well, probably not that. And I just realized that I went to line of shots, and I bet everybody, all 9 of our people watching, were like, a line of what?
A line of what? You tell me about that.
Excuse me, Hannah Howard.
No, because of being a recovering drug addict, I'm sorry, I'm not ashamed to say that. Because honestly, I think it's built the person that I am today. I used to be a little bit more crazy, if you can imagine. No, yeah, and there were times in my life that I called the ambulance on myself, bitch, because Nick was sleeping and he didn't know that I had done anything. And my heart started going crazy, okay? It started going crazy, and it was, woke Nick up and was like, babe, I don't know what's going on with me. I still didn't tell him what was happening. I was like, my heart is just going crazy and it's not slowing down. So I laid in bed with him, and he had his hand on my heart for like 30 minutes, and my heart rate did not go down. And so I told him to call the ambulance. Okay. The ambulance is on the way to our apartment, and he's on the phone with them. And I was like, babe, if they don't get here soon, I'm going to die. I was convinced.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
It was terrifying. And then they got in there, and I was sitting on the couch, and they were like, they have this little, it looks like a briefcase. They hook up the heart system to you and check your pulse and everything. And they're like, no, you're fine. You're just having a panic attack. And I was like, I was on a national TV show and didn't have a panic attack. Why would I have one in my fucking apartment? And then, they took me in the ambulance, and my fiance drove in the car. And as soon as we got in the ambulance, they were like, I'm going to ask you again, did you do any drugs tonight? And I was like, yes, I did coke. So when I got to the hospital, in the room, they have a whiteboard. Okay. So it already had why I was in there before I even entered the room, bitch. And it said cocaine use. And that was the first time my fiance saw that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like sitting in the bed, like crying, because as soon as I got to the hospital, I felt fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so
get out of your head.
Yes. And so I had them still do like a chest x-ray, everything, just to make sure that I was okay. And it took like an hour and a half for the doctor to get back to us. So I was freaking out the whole time. I was on the phone with my mom. Mom, you can attest to this, like crying and just super ashamed of myself. And he came back in an hour and a half later, and he's like, sorry, we just had a gunshot wound. And I couldn't make it into your room. But I found out like an hour ago, like I checked everything, and you're probably the healthiest person in this ER right now.
Oh my God.
It's like, it's still, from that moment though, it made me realize just how serious my problem was. And so now even anytime someone mentions cocaine, or I see it in a movie, which on Netflix, surprisingly, there's a lot of cocaine scenes in TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
And it gives me I start sweating.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is. But yeah, that's I was just saying what I was reflecting on in this year. It's just, even as hard as this year has been, I still haven't done the things that I had done in the past that made me really shameful of myself. And so for that, 2020 is really just in the hardest year I didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
What funny thing I think is that me and Hannah, even though this year has been really very low bookings for every comedian. I mean, Jesus Christ, even when people are getting booked, it's those places are shut down quickly after that because COVID was spread there at some point, and you know what I mean? It's a vicious thing. And so me and Hannah, this whole year, we've pretty much been a show every month at least. We've done at least a show every month.
You're right. I hadn't thought about that. The last time I was on a stage was in June, and the time before that, the last time I was on a stage was like a week before the shutdown. And so in my mind, I was thinking, I had like 8 or 10 shows already on the books, and when those went away, I was just devastated.
Yeah,
so devastated. But I hadn't thought about, like, I probably had more shows
this year.
than
Yeah,
I would have if everything was open.
and if you look at, like, honestly, the shows that we have done, people tend to go back and watch them like a day or two after. And so if you look at views, we probably had more people on each one of those shows that would have been in a room for a comedy show.
You right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I try to look at it like that, because even though comedy has kind of taken a back seat this year in like the live performance, you have still worked on it pretty much every week and have become better at our craft. So when we finally do get out there and I've been offered shows since things have shut down, but I haven't really taken that many opportunities unless I know I trust the person who's running it.
Right.
I don't want to get sick. You know what I mean? I can't afford that to be emaciated looking.
It's great. It's no problem at all.
No, it's been, but yeah, Hannah had the problem of, she had 8 shows booked before all this happened. I'm on the up and up. I feel like people didn't take me very seriously until they realized that, like, I'm not gay slinging comedian, and they seen me produce these shows. They're like, oh, okay, like, he's trying to take this seriously. He's really trying to
help, because you made some killer connections with some really great comedians that, like, I've never been on a lineup with, that I ended up roasting.
No, yeah.
It was way fun.
Yeah, it's the funny thing to me is, like, we did the Rugrats roast, and I was on The Voice with the girl E.G. Daily, who did the voice of Tommy Pickles. So I already knew her before, but I was on that Gladys Simon. She's an amazing comedian and mentor in New York. She has worked with a lot of great people. She is just a ray of energy. She's fantastic. I got linked up with her because of a show that I did with Linda, who was on our roast shows.
Yeah.
So she saw me and was like, oh, you're adorable. And so because we canceled our show on Wednesday, I ended up, like, doing her show on Wednesday. That's why it was going to start late. But she's just been so nice. Every time I perform, she's like, oh, here are some notes on, and it's not anything about my material. It's like, okay, next time try to wear a blue because your eyes will pop. And things that, like,
nice.
She doesn't try to critique my jokes, which is, I don't think anybody should tell anyone how to change their jokes. They can give input, but I feel like comedians are very territorial, especially since this is all my brain that made this. You know what I mean?
Yup.
Yeah, but I got a chance to do my Anne Frank material, which was wonderful.
Oh, good. I love that.
Yeah, it was good. It's on my page if you guys want to watch the show, Gladys's New Year's Eve show. I put the time that you can skip to get to me. The other comedians are great, but really, Mom, that's all you care about.
I mean, yeah.
It really is. I want to talk about one other thing, and then maybe just chit chat a little bit, because I've missed you. You've been in COVID quarantine, and it's just been like you sitting in your bed, and, like, you know, I just feel sorry for you.
Thanks.
No, I mean, just for this, not anything else.
I know.
But yeah, the thing I wanted to talk about is something that is kind of controversial. That's I didn't really know anything about until I saw these memes on my page because I have like the most eclectic friends on Facebook, and I saw all these random memes from different like types of people in our community, like wealthy people, like the working class, like everyone. And they were all different types of memes that were including the twisted tea. Okay. I didn't know what any of this was. And so all these memes were popping up and I was like, this is not funny at all to me. Why are people laughing at a can of alcohol and lemonade and tea? I didn't get it. Until I looked up the video that it originated from. And have you seen the movie Heredity, Hannah?
No.
It's a horror movie. Basically, this guy he has a sister who has a deformity. Her face is a little, it looks a little inbred. Okay. So she's made fun of a lot, and she has a lot of allergy problems. So he takes her to a party because his mom told him to, and he is driving her home because she ate peanuts at the party and her throat is like closing. And so he's driving home, and so she's trying to get air as he's speeding home, and she rolls down the window and puts her head out the window, and he hits a telephone pole, and her head hits the telephone pole.
Stop.
Decapitates her. Yes. And
oh
so
my God.
Someone put up a meme that was the girl's face, and then right below it was a telephone pole with twisted tea on it. And I was like, the way this video, if you haven't seen it, is about a white guy he swears he's black in the mirror. He calls people the N-word all the time, which I wish no one would use that word, just like that faggot. I mean, because like there's no power to the word, so like stop using it to try to like hurt people's feelings. And I think that's why Black people use it as a way to like as camaraderie between each other. Mm-hmm. But this guy was like, my problem with it is this white guy was saying, he was like, I live here in this area. I say this word all the time to my friends. He's like, I don't mean anything by it. He didn't say it in those words. He said it in like a more loud, aggressive tone that come off sweet. But I think the message—
he was extremely drunk.
Yes. But I think the message he was trying to say was, he was trying to communicate that he wasn't using it as a negative word, which like you're drunk, so that didn't come across. You know what I mean? And there's a black guy that's standing right behind him with a twisted tea in his hand, and you can tell that he's about to swing this twisted tea on this dude. By the way that he's holding it. All of his other products are on the like checkout. He's just holding it in his hand, and the impact it makes on this guy's face, the noise.
It's brilliant.
They did that. Oh my God, what is this? They did a
to the Dave Matthews song.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun,
it's so good.
It was honestly it was terrifying to watch. I hate watching world star hip hop, people getting in fights and having to watch it, like Sharkeisha. No. I just don't like watching those because I don't like watching anyone. I've seen abuse happen in my past. So anytime I see anyone hit someone else, it just triggers me to back then. And so it just makes me, I think the black guy deserved to stick up for himself. I just don't ever think that it needs to be violent. And now it's a meme that people are making fun of and kind of celebrating and laughing at, when it's really like, in this situation, no one really won out of him or the other dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
That black guy is ashamed.
Okay, I will say though, I did feel, because you get like that instant justification. It's like watching the guy who is smart mouthing in the car and doing road rage and then rear-end somebody. It's like that instant karma
Instant
gratification. That guy deserved to get hit. He was, first of all, maskless in a gas station. And he's
I didn't even think of that.
Like the white guy was totally maskless, and he's in that guy's face, screaming at him. I mean,
the black guy mask?
And the black guy, the black guy had a mask on, and he was like, he warned him like 3 times, like, I'm gonna bust you up, dude. Quit talking. And all he did was get louder and more belligerent. And he did. When he hit him in the face, totally justified. I'm here for it. Love to watch it. Not gonna lie. It
No,
was
yeah, I think
vacation.
I think when he was like trying to explain himself and getting more belligerent, it was him trying to, as a drunk person, being like, "No, I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying." But I don't think I don't think any of it came from the white guy as a place of negativity. Do you know what I mean? I really just don't think that he was mean. He was trying to explain that
He's such a peacemaker.
No, I'm just saying he was trying to say he uses this word with his friends. And,
I agree
you know
with
what I mean?
yes, he did.
I still don't think it's right.
He was trying to diminish the power of the word, which I understand and can agree with on occasion.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
a man is warning you to get out of his face during a pandemic. And you're just like going harder and louder and closer. No, you gotta go, kid.
Yeah. I just hope it's something that's not riddling my timeline for a couple of weeks, because I just don't like any of that being celebrated. None of that was, the black guy's probably not happy that he did that either and doesn't want that to keep.
I don't know. Somebody posted a selfie. They saw him in a gas station like yesterday.
And he's now the sponsor of Twisted Tea. He's the sponsor of Twisted Tea now.
I'm saying he's gonna get a deal or something. But like
I almost bought a Twisted Tea today instead of this Wickeds, but then I looked at the alcohol percentage and I was like 5% and this is 8%. I was like, no.
Yeah, hopefully he was buying that for his girlfriend.
No, I'm telling you. What is the worst moment of 2020 to you, and then follow that with like the best moment that you had in 2020?
I think I hit like an all-time low in the summer when we realized that the pandemic wasn't just going to be like a month long. You know, like that moment where we're like, oh, we're going to be doing this for about a year. It was like that realization. And then with everything that happened with George Floyd and everything, and watching all the riots and the protests going on all over the country, I'm such an empath. It just broke me every day. So I think that was like the lowest, because it's like I wanted to hide away and keep my family safe, but I also wanted to be out on the streets and like demanding justice. So
it's a hard middle.
It was so difficult. But the best part, I mean, the thing that has been saving me through 2020, first of all, has been shows with you. Because I needed that. I didn't know I needed that, and I did. And so getting a weekly Zoom roast, it has made me so much closer to so many other comedians, and it was such a blast, and I'll never forget that. And I mean, like, I have my joke book right here. I have a different joke book every year, and I got to my 2021, and I probably had like just probably 10 pages worth of jokes written so far before the pandemic happened. And so the rest is roasts.
The whole rest of it?
The whole rest of my book, my joke book, is like everybody's names and the roasts that I wrote.
I love it. She has literally a book of insults.
It's a book of insults. That is what my 2020 joke book is. And honestly, I think that that's pretty appropriate. And I love that. And it's been really difficult for me to not speak and roast. So like somebody will say something and my instinct now is to completely gut them and put them down.
Yeah,
so
to be Tom.
Not to do that.
To be Tom and be like, oh, well, I'm going to interrupt. I'm going
to. Right. Oh my God. Yeah, this is insane. And then the cherry on top of 2020 was getting COVID.
Yeah. You know what?
Felt like I was doing so good. I wasn't going out. I'm one of those super diligent white women in the grocery store with the sanitizer and the masks and all that.
Yeah.
And then kids, I got it from a family member
too. So like that, anytime parents go to the grocery store, I think from now on people will be like wiping everything down with a fucking sandy wipe. You know what I mean?
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
So moral of the story is the biggest place that people are getting it right now is with family gatherings, because they're not wearing masks there and you're with each other in close proximity for more than 15 minutes. At the grocery store, you're passing somebody by. Like if you're walking by somebody who's got COVID, it's not likely that you're going to get it. But if you are in the same room with that person in close proximity and y'all high five or hug or something, and that person's asymptomatic, then you're probably going to get it. So that's what happened to me. I was with my family member. We were Christmas shopping and they were asymptomatic. And then the next day I had a positive. And then within 24 hours, I started showing symptoms and came down with it hard.
Jeez. I would say, speaking of positives, I'll start with my positive of 2020. My positive, honestly, was getting to go and believe in myself more as far as just anything in the arts department. I started getting better at making backgrounds. I started making flyers and started really finessing just a lot of things that go into the production of making a person who is a public figure or comedian become better because they know the ins and outs of those things now, you know? And doing all these shows I'm very self-deprecating. I mean, I still haven't healed from getting eliminated on TV. You know what I mean? I still haven't like fully healed from that.
You got grace for that.
No, I know. But in my mind, I'm just like, I always try to put a positive outlook forward. And it was just weird that people weren't seeing the greatness that I saw in myself. I didn't see people seeing that. And so rebuilding that confidence and this year has really made me, because I've shown myself that I'm good at things that I never had tried before and pushed myself and really tried to do those things. So I'm really proud of that. The thing that was the most scary of 2020 was when we first got locked down, and I had a brief panic attack that lasted 2 days. So not brief. But I was like in and out of crying, and I'm very shameful when I cry. I don't even let my fiance see I'm crying. Even when we're at movies, I don't let him see that I got emotional. I want to be the strong one for him. The scariest moment was realizing, I even said to my fiance, I was like, babe, do you think our relationship's going to last? Because you're going to be around me all the time. You're going to be around me, and I am a lot, bitch. I know I'm a lot. I get it.
What are you talking about? You're not a lot.
What do you mean? You're just so calm. No. And so I asked my fiance, I was like, do you think that you are going to be able to put up with me? I was very like sad puppy dog basset hound when I came up to him and told him to. I was like, I know that I'm the worst. And so just to see that, like, we got each other engagement rings during this quarantine because we were afraid that gay marriage was going to be taken away if we had the sweet potato in office again, you know what I mean? And so we have been engaged for like 5 years. And so we set the date this year, this year now, so we could actually get married. And it's as stressful as wedding planning is, because it's fucking stressful. I'm just like, babe, I could get married next to a dumpster if you're there.
Right.
I don't need, but he's an event planner for a living. So he wants it to be everything he wants it to be, you know?
I love that.
Yeah. And so it's, then we had that awkward conversation where it's like, okay, well, since our first and middle name is the same, you can't take my last name like by itself. You have to keep like your last name and hyphenate it. And then he's like, but what about you? And I was like, well, I'm just going to keep Hawk, because I mean, I already have like a being known for that, even though it's like little.
Right.
Plus,
no,
it's like
you shouldn't. I would tell you not to change your name just because of your social media presence. And
if we change my last name, it would still be Smith Hawk. I can't do Hawk Smith. You know what I mean? It would still be. So we're still the same person.
Yeah.
So shenanigans.
Nick, I think our moms just became friends in our comment section.
Shut up. Amy Stottleman, thank you for watching. She's beautiful. I went to high school with her. She is amazing. She's a great mom, first of all.
Love that.
Perry is my boyfriend who I lost my virginity to. Okay.
Oh, we're just.
He's watching. Now get this.
While he's watching. Hi, Perry.
Yes. He is an amazing person. It just happened the way they happened, and he ended up inviting us to his wedding. Like, that's how close I am with my exes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I
because
would invite her all mine.
no, because in my mind, I try to, especially with gay people, it's like if every gay person thinks that you're trying to have sex with them, if you're also gay, they just think that. And Perry is one of those people that like, he invited us to his wedding. We couldn't make it, but we made a special trip. Me and my fiance went up and hung out with him and his husband. And he's just always been one of those people who can find the positive in life. He works for CPS. So he works in an industry that's like, yeah, not very up to
wish that on anybody.
No, and he's just such a great person. So I feel the reason I'm friends with my exes is because I feel like there was a reason that I needed them in my life at that time. And there was something about them that I admired to a certain extent. So I just try to always see that when I'm talking to that person, unless they make it completely difficult to see that in them. But yeah, this is our lives. We are going to return we're going to return Wednesday. That's the plan for right now, unless she, I don't know, gets another illness. This week, I want us both to pick a topic, and then we'll just add it to our thing. We like to do different stuff.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I haven't heard any dings on my Venmo, so Charlemagne. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. You've already given me so much. I'm very thankful that you even enjoy the show, and I love your daughter. I think that she is just an amazing creature, and she's the first person who's ever friended me in comedy in a industry where everyone's kind of jealous of everyone.
Yeah, everybody's a bunch of dicks.
They're gonna.
She had groceries delivered to me today, so she's the reason I've got my black-eyed peas.
Yes, for delicious definition. No, just kidding. But we, in case you haven't known our Venmos, Cash Apps, all that stuff, it's on the side at Mr. Nick Hawk over here. Hannah, what's yours?
Bitch and Hannah on Cash
If
App.
you want a tip.
They do have a Venmo too. It's just not a fun screen name, so I never use it. And then my Instagram is Mrs. Hannah Howard.
Do you have any new comedy opportunities that are coming up or anything that you're working on?
I do have a podcast. We're on a little bit of a break right now because of COVID and the holidays. But I'm about to start a new series on my podcast about personality traits and the Enneagram. If you don't know what that is a personality test, and it's supposed to be like the best and the most accurate. There's 9 different personality types, and there's like all this crazy woohoo science behind it. So I've already got my first episode recorded, but I have invited lots of Enneagram trained experts on the show, and we talk about different personality types and encourage.
Hey, Ron, I didn't want to miss your comment, Ron. Sorry. What were you saying?
Hi, Ron. So yeah, my podcast is called The World's Okayest Podcast, and you can find it on Spotify, Apple, anywhere that you play podcasts, and be looking out for my next series.
Yeah, I'm on her World's Okayest podcast. I'm her first episode, if you want to
Yeah, he's episode 1.
It's just us chit-chatting. It's called The World's Okayest Singer/Comedian.
I'll put the link
in the comments.
Spotify in the comments.
Yeah, do it. I can't wait to see more from you. I love watching you grow and watching you flourish and find new ways to do comedy and writing and just different things. I think the roast show really helped a lot of us who aren't comfortable being made fun of, be made fun of. And now if I go and do a show and someone doesn't like me, it's easier for me to take because it's not Wes Corwin telling me I don't write jokes, you know?
Yeah.
Jesus. I have 2 shows coming up. I have a show on January 9th at Stomping Grounds. It's going to be an outdoor show. I'll put the link in the comments as well. It's basically 50 comedians from the area, really good ones, hopefully. It's doing they have 1 minute on stage to do 1 joke. It's like the first 50 jokes of 2021.
I did it last year. It's such a fun show.
Yeah, I'm like super nervous. I'm just like, I don't know what to say.
Literally, it goes so fast. You have 1 minute and you just deliver a punchline in a minute. It's such a good challenge.
Yeah,
And I loved it. It was so much fun last year.
that's awesome. And then I have another show with Mana. She is an amazing comedian in the area. She's been putting on a lot of shows that are very safe in comparison to a lot of the shows I've seen put on. She is very cognizant of making sure that everybody feels very comfortable. That show is on Sunday night. It is the 31st of January and it is 8 p.m. It's a free show. It's at Tulips, which is in Fort Worth, I believe. And let me tell you the people that are on it because, you know, I like them and stuff.
I'll brag.
One of the people is Eileen Hopkins. She is someone I don't know, so I hope you're great. And then we have MK Paulson. He looks amazing in his, I don't know if you could see this, but he's like, his feet are over his head. He's like laying on this. He's and then Josh Johnson, who I've seen a couple of times, he seems very funny. And then Ruth Banks.
Love her.
And then it is me. And then I'm not sure if anyone else is on the show. But yeah, come out if you want to see safe comedy. Wear a mask, Head Richards. Just fucking wear a mask. God damn it, Gretchen. But yeah, I am so thankful that even though we took a couple of days to get this show together, I knew and I was really excited about it and wanted to do it and had a lot of information. And this gave me the chance to be the dumb person on the side that's just commenting everyday jargon.
Yeah.
So I love that. Yeah, do you want to send us out, Hannah? Tell them what time they can watch us next week and what day.
Find us next Wednesday right here on Nick's Facebook page at 7:30 Central Standard Time.
I love all those words. Yeah. You guys have a good night. Hannah, I love you. Give your daughters big ol' hugs for me because their energy is just like, I really love.
They've been wild tonight.
What's your name? What's your daughter's name?
Daisy.
Daisy is like the rebel and she is very like, she speaks her mind and it's like funny, but she's not trying to be funny. Whereas Becca's the realist. Becca's like, this is what's happening. Yeah, she's like, listen, follow the rules.
They're so funny.
I just love them. Well, have a good night and just heal up, sis.
Love you.
I love you. Oh, we didn't cheers. You can use an empty. You don't have to.
Oh yeah, I've got a thingy. Which
Okay.
way do we go? Towards our names, right?
You go towards your names. 1, 2,
Okay.
3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Hannah. 1, 2, 3. That'll do. That'll do. I love you.
We can blame the vid, okay?
It's hard. Have a good night. Mwah!